Hi, this is Art with Breaking Day Hypnotherapy, and this week's Empowering Mindful Moments, I want to talk about my own little story, my own journey with high anxiety. I used to have really, really high general anxiety, so much to the point that I actually had chest pains, had to see a cardiologist, blah, blah, blah. All he did was just tell me to relax. I also had it so bad that it started to create a chronic illness in my eyesight called central serous retinopathy. That almost led to blindness in one eye if I had not figured out a way to control my anxiety. Now, I already had started meditation. People thought, hey, meditation is a great way to relax. Good idea. Yeah, meditation is wonderful. It is a powerful means, but it's not what people who struggle with high anxiety need when you're having an attack, when you're having that what if thing, what if this, what if that, and you're spiraling down into this anxiety mess that I would so often do on an almost daily basis. So I needed something else, and about the same time I had become a certified hypnotherapist. But I had this anxiety where I thought, I don't know if there's anything that can help this. And so I really had doubts about any type of technique that could work. But I started hearing about other stories about how hypnosis really works well with anxiety. And so I thought, oh, well, let's see what happens. Let's figure this out. So I started doing some research and found out that, hypnotherapy, hypnosis is a wonderful way to handle anxiety. So I started researching more. And I came up with these 5 steps that really, really helped me to stop the what ifs. And the first thing I really learned is deep abdominal breathing. And there's something about how just breathing deep into your core literally shuts off the fight and flight response in your subconscious mind. Just breathing deep into your core tells the subconscious mind you're safe. Because when you're not safe, when you're in fight and flight, you're breathing up here on your top of your chest. So you start breathing down in your core, and that is like the first major step towards recovery and regaining calmness. Once you start breathing down there 3 to 5 times, you're starting to feel more calm, and then you can actually begin to reactivate your creative mind, which shuts down in fight and flight when you're having anxiety. Now you can say, like, well, what's causing this? What's happening? What is going on? And you start asking yourself these things, and then you figure out what it is, and then you can ask yourself, well, what's the worst case scenario? I mean, am I actually going to die? And you find out that really, when you face the fear, it loses its power. My favorite acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. And that is such a powerful statement in my own mind when I realized, hey, fear is just false evidence appearing real. And so I often ask myself questions like, what's the worst case scenario? Do I have control? What kind of control do I have? And I can start to figure out just exactly where I am in relationship to this and realize it's not the end of the world, and you have time, and you can figure this out, and you can relax now. Then I ask myself, well, is this the outcome I really want? What ifs, do I really want that? Because that sounds like, it's always doomsday type of things, which are unlikely to happen in reality. Do I really want that to happen? Well, if you understand how energy works and you keep imagining the what ifs, that's the energy you're putting out into the universe, and that is what you will draw toward yourself. So do you really want that? No, I don't want that. That's awful. That's doomsday crap. So what do I want instead? Well, I want this to happen or that to happen. And I start to imagine what I really want to happen instead. And as I start to imagine what I really want to happen instead, I begin to go, well, what if it really happened? Then I start to feel the emotion of it happening. And one of the most powerful emotions in your subconscious mind is love and gratitude. So if you can start to imagine loving your outcome and then being thankful that you've already received it, that's a very powerful statement to the subconscious mind, because subconscious mind has no time at all. If it did have time, then you would know that the subconscious would know not to have an anxiety attack over something that's going to happen next week, right? No. So your subconscious mind has no sense of time. And so if you begin to be thankful with gratitude for something you haven't received, the subconscious mind believes you've received it. And it begins to believe it. And when you begin to believe it, that energy becomes for real. And now you begin to reinforce it. So every morning and every night, those are my most favorite times, is right before I rise in the morning and right before I go to bed at night. It's when the conscious mind is kind of more or less out of the picture, and the subconscious mind is king, and I begin to imagine with emotion the outcome I want. That tells the subconscious mind that's what you want. Also, you're putting that energy out into the universe. Again, these are the 5 steps that I use. I use them every single time when I have something going on that creates an anxiety. Thankfully for me now, I do not have anxiety because I squelch it at the very beginning of it popping up its ugly little head. I stop it immediately. And I stop it by saying, that's not what I want. What do I want? And I begin to imagine what I want. Or I immediately, when it pops up, I go, what do I want? What's going on? And so every time I feel that, it's stopped. And you can too. Believe you me, if I can do it, you can do it. And if you need any information, there's information in the bottom of the description of this video. There's links to the blog. There's links to contact me if you need more information. If you like this video, share it, and thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Empowering Mindful Moments.